Hello everybody. Hopefully you can all see me as I've managed to get hold of a lovely jubbly new webcam, so I hope this works. Well, today is Mr Sylvian's birthday, so let me just move this across for you, and I'm showing you his first solo album here, which is the magnificent Brilliant Trees. This was released in 1984, recorded in Berlin in 1983, and part of it was recorded whilst he was still with Japan. So they did the last couple of shows, and then David went over to Berlin to create this masterpiece. There was a couple of singles released from this album. Pulling Punches, Red Guitar, and The Ink in the Well. Red Guitar was definitely the most popular one out of a lot of them. Just about got in the top 30. This album it's got so many great artists on here. Let me just read you a couple. Holger Chukai, Steve Jansen, his brother, Richard Barbieri, obviously from Japan, Raiichi Sakamoto, Steve Nye, John Hassel, Kenny Wheeler, Mark Isham, Phil Palmer, Ronnie Drayton, Wayne Braithwaite, and then the magical Danny Thompson. Wonderful package. It transpires that there we are, that this his first was probably and still is his most popular album, and I think that was effectively on the breakup of Japan. I think people were expecting, him to carry on in the same genre and type of music that he was producing with Japan. That wasn't the case. It's a very free form, in part very experimental album, not least because of some of the people on here. Holger Chukai comes in and brings his own sort of stamp on some of the proceedings, Mark Isham, he does some great stuff on here. But it's not a Japan album, and I think a lot of people were surprised by what they were buying into, because I'm absolutely positive that people bought this album on the back of him being associated with Japan, because although they'd broken up, there was still a few releases that Japan actually did after this came out. There was a best of Exercising Ghosts that came out, was extremely popular. So people know him from that from that band, and I think they bought this album on the back of that. But it's very, as I said, very experimental. Favourite tracks on here, it's all great. But I think a notable track on here is Nostalgia. Beautiful track. And then the actual title track, Brilliant Trees, very long, drawn-out piece. Very experimental, very avant-garde in the way it's been put together. Holger Chukai is greatly involved in that particular piece. And it's the start of a fantastic career, looks very much like he was in Japan on the cover. there again. I think that probably, that photograph attracted a lot of people into buying the album, you know. But this is extremely good album. Start to a fantastic career. Most of his material that he's produced over the years has been with two notable people, I think, really. Raichi Sakamoto, definitely, and his brother, Steve Jansen. You know, has done a lot of collaborations with him. And I've said this before, that Sylvian is one of these artists, is like a magnet. You can bring people in and get the best out of people, and he certainly does here. So truly fantastic album. If you're not aware of this album, then I think you would enjoy it. You know, if you know the material from Japan, you know, pulling punches, red guitar, sort of in the vein of that genre, but the rest is very experimental. Beautiful put together album. Steve and I produced it, along with Sylvian himself. Very stark in its way that it's been produced, but separation and the sound quality is great. A very nicely recorded album, you know, so it sounds great on any standard of hi-fi. Really, you're going to get the quality of the instruments and the voice of Sylvian coming out. But it does sound great. It does sound very good indeed. Okay, so that was a quick video, and it's effectively just to check this new webcam, and that not everything's going green as it was before, you know. So there we go. Okay, so it's just a test, this one. Okay, now I've got this thing working. It took me a while to get the thing going. I shall start up, as I mentioned last week, that I'm hoping to do a video every day, and it's basically 5 albums that I picked from my collection I've got here. Some might be CDs, some might be vinyl. It depends on the mood I'm in, really. So I'm not just going to be sticking to one genre of music, because there are a lot of channels that people do, and they're great, don't get me wrong, you know, but some of them just stick to one particular type and genre of music. Well, I'm not like that. I like to mix and match a lot, and music is a great soul opener, if you like. So it depends on your type of mood that you can, if you've got, you know, a fairly large collection, which I've got, you can find something to enhance your mood, you know, and that's what I like to do. That's the power of music. So there we are, you know. From tomorrow then I shall be showing 5 albums, and hopefully this webcam will keep showing my ugly face in more detail than what it has before. Okay, so just to remind you what I've showed you then, I'm still getting used to this camera. It's David Sylvian, Brilliant Trees, and it's the man's birthday today, so I thought I'd begin with this tremendous album. So there we go. Okay, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.